Good evening, everyone. We are live at 5. How is everyone this evening? I just got back from being sort of out of town for like 24 hours. I've had family in. Actually, I'll fix this. I've had family in for the last few days, and they're going to be moving across the world. They're going to be moving to an island called Mauritius for at least a year, and that's why I was not able to do my class last night with my Drop the Mop people. Thank you for giving me grace with that because we had stayed in. We went into town. We watched a Bruins game and stayed at the casino called Encore. So that's where I was, but now I am back at my desk, at my office. I see 6 people. Hi, Natalia. Hi, Victoria. I'm going to wait like another minute or so, then I'm going to start. Today we're going to sweep away toxic employees. I almost called this training Broom Away Toxic Employees, but I was like, nah, I'll make it sound a little bit nicer. Hi, Candace. How are you? I figured I'd make it Encore. Yeah, I just came back like 2 hours ago. I figured I'd make it a little bit nicer instead of saying brooming away bad toxic employees. I said sweeping away wasn't as bad. So if you're watching this on replay, hi, my name is Cheryl Hadger. I founded this group on Facebook. It's a group for cleaning business owners. It's called Sisters Who Scale, and I help cleaning business owners, maid service owners, learn how to hire their best teams, master the art of selling so they can attract high-paying clients, and learn how to execute a lot of the tasks that are necessary to grow and scale your cleaning business. I have my own cleaning company, Made Bright. You can check us out online, madebright.cleaning. It's spelled B-R-I-T-E .cleaning. I no longer clean, except I clean my own house a little bit. But I haven't cleaned my accounts for a long, long time. And I took the business from zero. I founded the company. We're over 700,000 a year right now. We're growing. I did it in about 4 years, and I tell everyone the best part of it is I did it working about 20 hours a week. I do that with leverage systems and scalable action. So just to give you an example, I went to Encore overnight while my commercial business was running last night, stayed overnight. My day business, my residential worked without me being there, without me even being in the office. All right. So I've set up the systems, I've set up the management, everything you need to know, and that's what I teach you. Because people always ask me, well, what do you do? How can I benefit from you? You know, as a coach, I teach you to do these same things, so you can go to Encore too, and not have to go into work and have your management, keep it at bay, for 24 hours. That's the biggest difficult piece of the puzzle. The biggest piece of the puzzle is managing your staff, right? Everyone wants to know how to hire correctly. It's truly an art form. It's a skill of patience. It's a skill of people skills, okay? And not everyone that owns a cleaning business has those skill sets developed yet. I use that word yet because everyone can do it. And that's where I come in. So I've been in your shoes. I've made bad decisions. I've made good decisions. I know what works. I know some things that don't work, and I give my clients the exact formulas to, not only need to succeed, but to actually do it faster and better. That's why my clients are getting amazing results. So let's talk about these employees. We've all had them. We know what they look like. Bad apples, crappy workers. They're toxic. They're negative. They talk about everyone's business and can be drama-filled employees who are never happy and are always complaining about getting complaints on their work. But you need the coverage, right? You can't do the schedule without these people. It's a constant struggle. I know this. I've been there, and sometimes I still experience it, right? But now I know, who to recognize it, how to recognize it quick, nip it in the bud, or let someone go immediately, right? And let's just clear the air here. Your job as the boss, as the CEO, is to do 2 things: fill the schedule with high-paying clients, and keep your staff liking their jobs and keep them showing up for work, okay? This is like little cheerleading 101, right? A little bit, right? Of course, there are always a little bit of cheerleading. So you do need a little bit of diplomacy, however you say it. Absolutely, you do. Um, because everyone has different personalities, right? So your skill set is going to come out a little bit different. So there's two struggles I see. Um, if there's a struggle with this part, you need to look inward and look at your systems, right, where you see your flaws. So you will always have some sort of employee fluctuation a little bit. That's just kind of the nature of the business, of the service industry business, not just the cleaning business, it's other businesses too. So don't take anything to heart when people decide the job isn't for them. They change, they ghost you, they call in and quit the last minute. Don't take it to heart. That's what's going on in them internally. They're just not the right person. People have life changes. People find out that they don't like to professionally clean for a living, right? And it wasn't a good fit for them and they quit. People think this job is easy. And then when they realize that it's really hard work and you really have to love it, they quit, okay? Or the environment is too toxic and it was either created by you or another employee. I had one girl who was actually toxic herself who quit and blamed it on everyone else. But she was a total drama queen, right? And a bit of a snowflake and couldn't handle the job. I'll just call it, say it like it is. So, you know what this job takes, right? It takes guts, it takes a little toughness wrapped in a bow of customer service, right? Victoria, you know what that's like because you're exactly the perfect CEO of what I'm talking about, right? You have guts, you're tough, but you have a really great, way with people and you have a great customer service. So, and that's that. And that takes a little bit of getting used to for some people. So let's get back to the toxic employees. So in my interviews, when I interview people, I tell applicants that my company is a drama-free company. I say it right away that we don't tolerate it. The staff that we have currently, they like to come to work. They like getting along with each other. They work hard. They get great tips. They go home to their lives every day. Then they come back in the morning and do it again. And because we don't have any drama, I'm able to switch my teams out, which makes it super, super easy, right? So if one person is out, I can pair everyone up with everyone. So when you're allowed to do that, it makes it so much easier to schedule your jobs, okay? So because the schedule changes sometimes, we all know this, right? Sick clients, sick staff, you make changes. That's just the way it is. When you're dealing with volume of clients, you're just going to make some changes. So learning how to make these changes on the fly and subbing in different people is something you have to get used to. It's part of the business because we're dealing with human beings, right? If we were all dealing with robots, this wouldn't happen, but we're dealing with human beings. So if you don't like working with human beings, then you should go to work for robots. And I get this. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt, right? But there's steps you can take to minimize the stress, and that's what we're talking about today. So if I can sense that an employee is causing drama right away, because I've been at this for a while, and I bet you guys can sense it too, I get to the root of the problem right away, and I let that person go. I am not playing around here. I am not playing around. This is my company. Things need to, go smoothly. Usually at the first sign of it, or when it's brought to my attention, I guess you could say, I get rid of it. Now, why so quickly? Because drama and toxicity is a cancer to your business. Candace is on. She's going through something right now, and she's about to let the girl go next week. And her name is Cheryl, but it's not the good Cheryl like me. It's the bad Cheryl. So she's going through a toxic person. They're a massive cancer. You gotta get them out of your business because they can infect good workers, right? Just like cancer infects good cells, bad workers infect good employees. It's the same exact thing, okay? So if you hear from an employee that like an employee is talking bad about other employees or talking bad about you, fire them. Get rid of them or massively cut down their hours so they quit. That's another trick of the trade, so you don't have to pay unemployment insurance. The toxicity is going to come on a tidal wave and it's going to wreck your business and you're going to be sitting there not knowing what the heck happened, right? And your hard work, it puts a strain on other employees, which can cause them to quit. And I've seen toxic people take other people with them. Now you're down 2 employees. right? Now what do? Now you're really losing some income. So you're meshing all kinds of different people together when you hire. So they're forced to work with each other, right? And sometimes everyone may not get along. So how do you recognize this person? How do you recognize a toxic employee? There's many forms of toxicity in the workplace, okay? So let's talk about a few of them here. Negative attitude. So this often displays consistently as a negative attitude, complaining frequently, spreading pessimism around other colleagues. Let me give you an example. I hate my houses today. Number one. Number two, I don't feel like working. Number three, I'm going to just take my time and I don't care if I'm late to all my houses. Four, oh, I hate that client that's on my schedule today, right? Five, can you take this house off my route today? Has anyone heard this stuff before? Let me just check in if anyone's heard this stuff before. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Hi, Kelly. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Tamika. Oh, Janet, you got rid of the toxic employee last week. I'm so proud of you. You have to tell me. You have to tell me. Hi, Amber. You have to tell me what's going on. I want to hear it on tomorrow's call. Let them go immediately. Yeah, you're no bull, girl, up there in Oregon. I know. I can tell. I can tell. Hi, Katrina. You gotta let them go. Katrina herself, she struggled with employees before. She's had to let them go because it's like a tidal wave. They wipe out your whole workforce, right? Right? Totally. Totally. So those are common things. Housekeeping is a hard enough job. We all know that. So your job as a CEO is to find as many happy people who love to clean to fill your roster, right? So you don't have to, you can bring in happy people. You don't have to mesh negativity with it, right? Because negativity with physical labor is tough. Physical labor is taking up all the bandwidth already in your business. You don't need to add negativity because it becomes a breeding ground for disease, right? Another one that's really bad, gossiping and talking about everyone's business. Beware of someone that's talking about someone else's business, someone else's personality or life or whatever that's going on all the time, right? So most of us have all females. So there's always going to be a certain level that you're going to see come in and out of your business, right? Because let's face it, girls can be a little chatty. We all know that. But you don't want someone, out and out talking bad about someone like all the time. You always want to train your teams to have a positive attitude towards their peer employees, right? Because they're working together in like a closely knit situation. They drive the same car together. They're required to be a team player. In houses, they're cleaning, right? One person takes on one task while the other one's taking on another. They're required to talk to each other, mop out, go to the next house. So this is really a team effort going on in the field. And so they're the face of your company. So the good juju energy has to be flowing out there all the time because your customers are going to feel that bad energy if they're in the house with all their drama and all their toxicity. And you can't send bad energy into people's houses, right? Wouldn't you all agree? So each and every one of your clients looks forward to your crew coming in. I mean, you hear it all the time. People be like, this is my favorite day of the week when you guys come and clean my house. You hear that all the time. I hear it. You guys hear it. You have to have responsibility to try and put good staff in their houses, right? You don't need staff talking about their personal drama in the house or swearing in people's houses, right? Or on their phones talking with their dramatic relationship going on in the background, or texting the boyfriend, then telling the other one they're working with the boyfriend's being an ass or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need that stuff. Your clients don't want to hear that stuff, right? You and I, we wouldn't want drama girls bringing all their negativity into our homes either. So reverse that situation for a second. Look at it through the customer's eyes so to really understand this. So if you see someone constantly talking about other team members, keep an eye out for it, okay? This is the first thing you need to do to assess how valuable they are to the team. I have a way of grading my people. They don't know this. I grade them in A, B's, and C's, okay? My A's are my rock stars. My B's need improvement. My C's, I'm figuring out a way to replace them. That's just how it's mental. I don't have a list on the wall that says A, B, and C. It's a mental thing, right? So more on that later. So as a boss, you need to always be prepared that not everyone's going to stay forever. They're not. If you have someone a year and above, you're doing a really good job. You're doing a really good job, right? And you will see when someone is starting to turn into a bad apple, right? You just need to figure out if you can fix that apple, right? Get that apple healthy again, or are you going to throw that apple in the trash, which is firing them, right? Two things. Buy a new apple, hire a new apple. That's kind of what you're looking for. So your toxic employees have lack of accountability, right? They may refuse to take responsibility for their actions, blaming others or external factors for their mistakes. You will see this a lot. How many of you have seen this before? Have you seen employees that you think maybe drama queens that they blame everyone else for their own, shortcomings and stuff like that? I've seen it. I've seen it before. So this can be somewhat common sometimes, right? When you're training new employees, it's important to train them on how to look inward first. What they could have done better. Let's say there's a quality complaint. What they could have done better. Could they have done a quality walkthrough at the end, right? How could their actions influence a different outcome for a situation? So if you can get them to think about how they could have changed that situation by their actions, you can diffuse this, right? Instead of having a million excuses. I hate when people have excuses. I have water and coffee, by the way. So, poor teamwork. They don't get along with people. They struggle to work collaboratively, right? Often undermining their teammates' efforts or displaying a lack of cooperation, right? This is a team player business, and this should be discussed at the interview, right? But you're looking for people who have experience in this way and are used to working in teams. Everyone is working for a common goal to flawlessly move through the client's homes, do a great job, clean them, and get on to the next home. So you need a staff that's going to mesh well personality wise when they're going out in teams, right? For this teamwork to happen. And when it happens, it's beautiful. It's a symphony and you can rest your head at night. And when it's not happening and it's the opposite, it's complete mayhem and you're just holding on, waiting till 5 o'clock till the day is done, right? And it's a terrible place to be, right? You need these people to mesh well. So if your staff sees you out in the field, let's say you're going to go out, you're going to do quality controls, right? Which I do every once in a while. I have all my team leads that do the quality controls and I have them trained pretty good. So I don't need to be out there. But sometimes I do them. Sometimes I do them if they're like big real estate cleans, or something like that. So, you want to kind of be around so they know that you're still kind of checking. I showed up on Monday to a commercial clean that we're doing, right? Another thing you'll see with toxic employees is they are resistant to feedback. They don't take the constructive criticism well, okay? They're unwilling to improve their skills or their behavior. You need people on your team that want to improve, right? Who can take the constructive criticism, who want to know if there's quality complaints so they can fix it. They want to know so they can fix it, right? These are the people you want. And this should also be discussed at hiring. You want to tell them this is a very detailed oriented job, and you have the right training system in place. There's a certain way to do things and you need them done so they can be duplicated. So this involves training them how to do it so they can help become better, because believe it or not, most people want to get better at their job. Most people want to get better, right? So when I have to talk to someone about what they've missed, I let them tell their story. I want to hear them, right? What happened? I say, what happened in the house? I let them talk. Maybe there was a situation. Maybe there was a complaint on the office not getting clean. Maybe the husband was in the office doing the Zooms and the husband didn't let the girls go in there. That happens all the time. Shocker. Wives and husbands don't have open lines of communication all the time. Shocker, right? That happens, right? More than enough. So, listen to what they're telling you, right? Your goal is not to be a jerk, but your goal is to get like your point across, right? So, could they have had a better outcome if this system was put into place or whatever? But a lot of times it's communication, it's they can't get in here, they didn't tell you they couldn't get in the office, or whatever it is, right? You need to give them these tools so they can feel empowered, so they don't feel badgered or hurt, right, by your criticism. You need to give them these tools to be successful. And if this delivery is done correctly, you're not going to have any problems. Everyone's going to be fine. It's your delivery. They don't want to feel belittled. They don't want to feel like you talk down to them, right? It's when you don't know how to deliver this is when you'll have issues, right? When I work with my clients on a better delivery system of criticism for their employees, they usually end up having a better outcome. This takes time. This isn't going to happen in a week. You know what I mean? But if anyone has any issues about this, DM me if you have any more questions about better delivery. Sometimes you get nervous to talk to your employees and you don't know. Another thing you're going to see is low productivity with toxic employees. So they may consistently underperform, clean real slow, miss their times allotted, for a house, or fail to meet expectations. And this is going to impact the overall team's effectiveness. I always say to everyone, it takes a good 30 days before you can see a new employee's potential when it comes to speed. Don't worry about speed. It takes a bit of time for them to get faster because they're still learning the houses and they're still learning this, right? So once they've had a couple of passes with most of the houses, they gain confidence. The routine will usually speed up. If you're experiencing an employee that has been with you a while and they start to slow down, then you have to take a look at this and see if they are a negative, or are they struggling with some toxicity stuff. Are they getting burned out? Do they have an injury they're not telling you about? That happened to us the other day. What could be the factor that's causing them to slow down? So when an employee starts to slide down that negative cycle, you can also see a slower pace in productivity. Right? Your goal as the boss is to monitor this and start conversations early on to see why they might be slowing down. Look at the times. If you have, Jobber or ZenMaid, you can see how long they're in the house. If you're having them punch in and punch out, which is super important for your times, because you want to see time is money, ladies, right? Labor equals money. So you want to see how long people are taking in houses to see where the profits are, or if the profit margins are getting eaten up and stuff like that. Okay. So when an employee starts to slide down that negative cycle, you have to have a conversation with them, see what it is. Ultimately, your staff should go at an even pace and not try and speed clean all the time, right? They're going to burn out, and they can miss things. This is, of course, is going to, lead to healthier expectations, your conversation, and will prevent missed items, as well as better cleanings and a better overall experience if they're not rushing. Another one you're going to see from these toxic bunnies, manipulative behavior. Okay, they employ manipulative tactics such as gaslighting or playing mind games with the other staff. Maybe, I see this sometimes in a toxic team lead. They try and control the other cleaning tech. I've seen this happen before. If an employee is disgruntled about something, that can often start to build this manipulative behavior. So your goal is to make sure that they're not disgruntled at you, the boss, which sometimes it is what it is, right? So this, sometimes this is just who they are. This is their person, their type of behavior, right? And it's very difficult to use an interview because they usually kiss your butt. They usually look like the best employee on the face of the earth, right? But this isn't the case. So if someone is too nice at the interview and they seem like the perfect employee, your radar is going to go up, right? Because they could be not. It's actually better to have someone that's a little bit nervous at your interview than someone that has piece of cake, get it down, get it going on. That person you're going to want to watch, right? So if you see this manipulative behavior, you have to fluff your peacock feathers. Boss lady got to come out. What do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. So I have this team lead. She's amazing. Her quality control is the best I've ever seen. The best I've ever seen. She's been with us 4.5 years. The best I've ever seen. Okay. Clients request her. She gets mad tips. She's great. Great trainer. Sounds like a dream employee, right? So sometimes she gets in her moods when she doesn't want to train someone. So I've seen her sabotage training someone and says, oh, they're not good, right? She has them clean one bathroom. Oh, they suck. They're not going to make it, right? Sometimes that happens. So, and there was this one time where she was getting ready to go on vacation, and I had to have her train a new person, which was going to make her get out of work a little bit later, and she didn't like that, and she wanted to get out of work earlier so she could continue to pack for her trip. So she gave me an attitude. My best employee gave me an attitude, and I had to pull the peacock. Call it pulling the peacock. Peacock feathers got to come up. So, and this is how I framed the conversation. I said, Amanda, this is why I need you to do this for me. And I said, my other trainer is burned out. I think it was Sam. Sam's burned out. We had just gotten a complaint from a client, so I didn't want Sam to train anyone and to have to handle, getting back on track, with not having any complaints. I had to switch them out. I explained to her why. I told her exactly everything. And I said, I need you to help me on this one. As soon as I communicated this with her, see, she didn't know that backstory was going on, right? I did. So she's been with me a long time, and I can tell her certain things, and it's between me and her because I built this relationship with her. She's my manager, right? She's my quality control supervisor. She's trainer, everything. So she understood. Her whole body, her demeanor changed with me, and she said she could do it. So I was also pep talking her at the same time, and she actually thanked me for the pep talk later. But you're going to see this from time to time, okay? And you need to know how to handle it. The more open you are with your lines of communication, right? These people that work for you, they're employees. Have conversations with them. It always doesn't have to be us and them, right? It doesn't have to be you're the boss, they're the employee. Bring it down a little bit, right? Let them know you're human, you're communicating with them, and why you need them to do certain things. They'll appreciate you more if you communicate with them, right? The better off every situation is going to be. So your toxic employees are going to result in a high employee turnover. So you want to try and not even hire them at all, if possible. Sometimes they squeak under the radar, right? And you can't avoid it. So they contribute to high turnover rates because their behavior negatively impacts the job satisfaction of others. People don't want to work with drama, right? People don't want to be around toxic, drama-filled employees. They want to come to work. They want to do their job. They want to have some laughs. That's very important to laugh at work. And they want to go home. And it's important to remember that these signs should not be considered definitive proof of toxicity, not all the time. However, if you observe several of these behaviors consistently over time, it may be an indication that your employee is toxic. And the bad apple got to go in the trash, right? So when dealing with such situations, I recommend to address the behavior right away through open communication, set some clear expectations, and provide support if need be, right? In severe cases, disciplinary action or termination may be required. Usually when someone starts to get 1 or 2 disciplinary actions on their belt, they're usually on the way out anyways. And so this is what, things you can do to maintain a healthy work environment. I have a brand new client, Angie Hardy, from New York, and I've been on the private calls with Angie and Bridget, who is her office manager, and they came to me because they had some mad drama going on in their staff. Angie's been in business a long time. She's a veteran in the industry, but the drama she's got to get rid of, so that's what we're working on. So I'm pretty excited because we listed out all the people in the company, all the names, all their pros, all their cons, who needs to go first. And Angie had to do an honest assessment. Okay, this one's going first. This one's going second. I said, all right, let's do it, right? So I push you to do things that you may not have done. She may let that continue on, right? Where people were quitting because this person was toxic and people didn't want to work with her, right? So just reducing this person, the bad apples hours are getting reduced. And we have a call coming up, and I'm really excited to hear about what's going on. It's almost like, what's his face there, Gordon Ramsay, when he goes and does like the restaurants, and I just picture like the bad employees. Like, we just need to get rid of the bad employees. I woke up thinking, I'm like, wouldn't that be cool if like I could go into like cleaning businesses and just like help them like that? I thought that would be so cool. Angie, I don't know why I was thinking about that with you, but I thought that would be amazing. But anyways, does anyone have any questions? Teamwork, disgruntled team lead will kill the morale. Yeah, hi Laura. Absolutely, 100%. Katrina, if you need to watch it over, just watch it over. You can totally watch it over. You're dealing with one. Great communication. Yep. Yeah, they're tough. I know, Katrina, you've had some bad people. Hire fast. Yep. So you want to hire fast, fire faster. What does that mean? That means if you see a good one, you want to get them in your company right away. You want to hire them fast. If you see a bad one, you want to get them the heck out of your company even faster than you hire them. That's what that means. That's what that means. I hope this was helpful for everyone. If you're watching it on replay, definitely comment, say hi. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if you've had toxic employees. If not, anywhere. I know a lot of us have had them. It's meant, how do I say this? It will happen. If you own a cleaning company and you're in the cleaning industry, it will happen at some point. You just need to learn how to let it go, right? How to let it go, exactly, and how to not hire them. And that takes time. That takes skill, right? Look at you guys making all the smiley faces down there. All right, ladies, have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful evening. Those that are on private calls and group calls, I'll see you all soon. I have my group call tomorrow night. Drop them up in scale tomorrow night with my lovely ladies, and then some private. So have a wonderful week. Laura Jean, how do you need with employee? You're welcome, Laura. How do you need with employees? How do you deal with employees that overshare? Send them out to solo clean so they won't talk to anyone. No, I'm being joking around. You have to, hi Tina, Laura, you have to say if they're in a person's house and they're oversharing that it says not allowed. You can't talk about that stuff in the house. Sometimes they may talk about it in the car or whatever, or if they're talking oversharing and you're uncomfortable about what they're saying, just change the subject. Hopefully they get the hint. But don't do it. They tell them it's like an absolute no that they do it in the house. Tina, we had several. We are at 64 employees now, and the retention is a lot better the past year. God love you, 64 employees. Are they contractors or all W-2? Yeah, we just came out of COVID. Well, I mean, I guess it's been a few years now, but right after COVID, it was difficult to hire because this country put everyone on free money, which was dumb, and it made everyone lazy. All W-2. That's a lot of people to manage. That's a lot of people to manage. Good Lord. But, I bet you have managements. I bet you have managed levels in place. You're not managing all 64 people. I bet you have managers. I'd be curious. If you didn't, you must be some type of a god. I used to keep people too long. Well, that's the thing. Sometimes you can't keep people that long. You got to switch them out. Right? I know. That's a lot of managing going on, 64 people. All right, ladies, have an amazing evening. I'll see you all soon. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. You got to get rid of them. You got to broom them, or as the topic is, you got to sweep them away. You got to sweep them away. All right, ladies, have a wonderful evening. I'll see you next Wednesday at 5 p.m. for another topic on the cleaning industry. All right, take care. Bye.